What's up everyone, Sean here and welcome to another monthly update for the channel and a look back on last month, which was April. So and then we'll go what we're going to be doing for May, and as always, thank you guys for your continuing support and your viewing and stuff like that. So let's just get to what we did for April. Let's start with real life. Why not? So, April has been a lot happening when it comes to real life. I'll try to be in order, but I'm probably gonna be all over the place. But first off, I got a brand new equipment. You definitely can't see it, but I've already done a test video with it. It's the Audio-Technica AT2020 with a Behringer a mixer to really make it work, and it's been doing me wonders so far. I'm still continuing to experiment with this setup, and I've been trying to move on sort of from Yeti's the USB microphone that I've been using for years and years for the channel, and it's been doing me wonders, but I wanted to do something else when it comes to sound recording, so I moved on to XLRs, and so far I am very satisfied with it. It does definitely give off a better sound for me personally, and it's just better up for task when it comes to what I want to do with my videos anyway, which is like voiceovers and stuff like that. When it comes to USB microphones, I feel like they're better for like on the go, very like kind of quick, sessions and stuff like that. If something, sort of some spontaneous sort of happens, you can kind of just set it up and plug it right in and stuff, and very, very like plug and play, and when it comes to like XLRs, you have to, of course, you have to plug it in, of course, but you have to, really mess around with the knobs, mess around with the settings, the equalizer, the compressor, and all the other knobs that comes available with your mixer. So your mixer does have a lot to do with what kind of sound you're gonna give off, and it's really fun to play around with. It's very, you're gonna be in that very experimental phase, and I do like that. It's for me it's a lot of fun, and the results have been very satisfying so far. And like I said, I'll be continuing to experiment with my mic, with the brand new setup and everything, and I've already used it just once for streaming, and so far I think results are pretty good. I haven't used it for gaming just yet, but I will be using it for streaming, of course, and also like Let's Plays if I have to do any more of those in the future. And yeah, so I've been very pleased with it, just for one last time. And like I said, I'll be definitely be rocking the XLR mics, and USB mics will be on the bench, just waiting for any spontaneous / kind of on the go kind of sort of recordings and stuff like that. Maybe I'll bring the Yeti for Vegas and Evo or something like that for some sort of like gameplay sort of video, or maybe a podcast on the road or something like that. That'd be kind of cool. But we'll have to see about that. But for now, what is set in stone for sure is that XLRs are definitely here to stay for me. I'm very happy with what I have so far. Looks like a more legit setup for me anyway, and I'm digging it. I'm digging the XLR train so far. So yeah, so pretty happy with that purchase. When it comes to the other stuff like working and stuff like that, the jobs has been pretty much the same. The gym has been a little different. I did kind of miss out on my some of my workouts because of other reasons, and I actually went through a bit of a weird sort of like phase or whatever. I actually kind of went through it like a funk, if you can call it that. Maybe it's sort of like, maybe because I'm almost hitting the 30s and stuff like that. Maybe I'm hitting like that pre-game sort of middle-age crisis sort of deal. I know that doesn't make it sounds weird, I know, but I don't know. I just felt weird, and I just kind of feel like I didn't want to do anything, and it actually led to the point where I just wanted to just be in my room and stuff. So that kind of held me back from doing some workouts, and also, which will lead into another thing in real life, is first off, my friend is getting married. One of my close friends that's not quite in the We Have Fun circle, but sort of in another Let's Play sort of thing that we did in the past. His name is Curtis, if you guys remember him from the Wind Waker Let's Plays and stuff like that. The Fist of the North Star Let's Play as well. He actually is getting married with his girlfriend of 6 years, which, you know, is awesome. It's been a couple months since they were engaged, and they will be married in June 1st, so it'll be a very easy anniversary for him to remember, hopefully. I'll be sure to remind him when needed. But anyway, why am I mentioning that is because his bachelor party was, you know, in April, right around the end of April, right around the same time with Endgame for Avengers. So I don't know, during around that time I felt weird, and I was going through that funk, and the best man was calling me to, like, you know, check up on what's going on with me. And I'm just like, dude, I don't know, I'm you know, not feeling it or something or whatever. And then he just kind of pretty much like gave me a, you know, I guess, like, you know, because we were talking on the phone, so you can't really exactly, you know, hit me side of the head or anything like that. So he just kind of gave me like a, you know, a virtual bop in the head, I guess you can call it that. And, you know, he reminded me that this is for Curtis, is, you know, I gotta be there. So, you know, so that kind of, like, you know, reignited my fire in a way. And I'm like, all right, you know, I gotta go for him. And, you know, he's my good friend, and, you know, and I'm one of the groomsmen, so, you know, I definitely gotta, you know, go and have a good time with Kurt, for Kurt and with Kurt. And so I, you know, was able to muster up more than enough motivation, and I was feeling better since then. So it definitely helped that I was able to go. And we went to Las Vegas, and it was me, my friend John, who's the best man. He's the one who gave me the spark, pretty much. And then Curtis himself, of course, the Bachelor, and his brother. We went together in one car and took off to Vegas. So, you know, that's like the very common place for bachelor parties, and we all had a good time. Nothing crazy too much of that happened. Really funny because you know, the best man John really wanted to get him you know, wasted or drunk or something, you know, like just amped up on alcohol. And, you know, that was like his plan. That was like his number one plan in his head, and he just wanted to really get him hammered for the sake of the party. Meanwhile, we just, you know, sit back and, you know, have a good time with ourselves. And, you know, he's being wasted, but didn't quite happen as how he wanted to go. And but, you know, despite that, we still had a good time, of course, but it's just that he just didn't drink enough for himself. So what we did for night one, or on that Friday night, well, first off, we kind of arrived there late to our hotel, you know, in comparison to our designated time, but it all kind of worked out because everyone else was late anyway. So we didn't, you know, really meet up until 4 o'clock or whatever in the afternoon in Vegas, or around, it might have been like 4:30 or something. But anyway, we were pretty much all there at the same time. So, you know, again, it all worked out. And so we kind of hung out, and then we went out to go to Hooters, which apparently was Curtis's first time. So we're all like, "What?" You know, much to our surprise, and so it was a first time experience for him. And we all had wings. We were getting him, you know, started with alcoholic drinks, and he was kind of getting there. He's definitely like known for being able to hold his liquor, even for like a Japanese dude, and because, you know, Asians are infamous for the Asian glow because we can't process the alcohol as well as everyone else, so that's where we get the glow. So he is one of the few that, sorry, I'm trying to like see if the camera's focused. He is one of the few, gifted few, to be able to just drink away, comparing to other Asians. And so yeah, so we had some wings, and his brother was very, very hungry, so he killed most of the wings, much to our surprise. We're like, damn. And he's also known to like eat a lot too. He's like very skinny. He's got a high metabolism still. I've known Curtis and his brother since childhood, so I kind of know, like, you know, the ins and outs. I know that sounds weird, but like the ins and outs of both of them. And I know his brother is like very skinny and has a high metabolism, and he still got it. So like he was able to kill most of those wings, and I had a pretty normal amount. The rest of us had a pretty normal amount, but however, Curtis only had 3 pieces of wings the entire session. We're like, what the fuck? They need to eat more so you can, like, you know, soak in the alcohol better. But he was still okay. He was just like, you know, fuzzy or whatever, kind of warmed up, I guess you can say. But after that, after we all was able to get some food in our stomach, we head on over to this whiskey tasting place. Forgive me for not remembering the name, but it was like really basic, some sort of really basic name for a whiskey tasting place. And so we went in there, and it was just this room full of absolutely filled to the brim with all these whiskey and bourbon and scotch. And it's a lot of people's dreams, I guess, to have that vast of a collection when it comes to alcohol or liquor, in this case. And as someone who likes whiskey, who enjoys whiskey on a moderate basis, it was pretty cool. It was a really cool experience. I was able to enjoy myself with the expansive package, which was called, usually all the other packages come with like 5 whiskeys to taste, or 5 drinks to taste, I should say, or 5 liquors to taste. And myself and one other groomsman were able to experience 10 drinks. But this is a tasting, so you don't get wasted. So that way everyone can enjoy it. And I was able to definitely enjoy it. I discovered a whiskey that I really do want to find for myself, and it's called Old Camp. Old Camp, it was like, for some reason, by far my favorite out of all the other whiskeys I've tasted, even though the other whiskeys are relatively more expensive as, you know, we went on. Funny enough, it was the first one I tried. It was like the first cup, and I really enjoyed it. It's basically a peach pecan whiskey, and those things are something I do like when it comes to like flavors in a whiskey, which is like a nutty and fruity flavor. So you know, I also enjoy amaretto, so it kind of helps out with the nutty sort of flavoring stuff when it comes to what flavors I like. And that was a nice little discovery that I, you know, kind of learned by myself, that hey, Old Camp is probably my favorite one if I can find that bottle. But it shouldn't be too hard. It's not that expensive, so I'll eventually find one. So that was a nice experience, and everyone else had their own, you know, little package or whatever. They had like the introductory or whatever. Meanwhile, Curtis had one of the most expensive ones, which was the Japanese whiskey package. So basically, he gets to try out the 5 Japanese whiskeys that were available at the time. I mean, there's like a vast bunch, but you know, he got to try 5 of them, and one of them was like a $800 bottle whiskey. So I was like, damn, you know, I forget what it was called. I think it was called like Hawk Shoe or something. It's very famous within the whiskey sort of circle. And for anyone who has, you know, enjoyed some Japanese whiskey, they probably know what I'm talking about when it comes to like $800. You know what I mean? So it's very expensive. Let me say that much. And you know, he got to try it, so it's like, you know, something for him because he does like whiskey as well. He loves it, and so that's why the best man planned that part for our little schedule. And yeah, so overall it was a great experience, and I definitely had a fun time. And they definitely teach you a technique to taste whiskey, which is to hold your mouth for like a certain amount of time, let the alcohol kind of burn itself out in your tongue, and then you swallow as little excuse me, as little as possible, and that's how you kind of taste the whiskey to its fullest, or better than how you normally drink it. And by the time you're done with your last whiskey and you go back to your first excuse me, you don't hardly taste the alcohol burn, and it's really cool, like a really cool technique. I, you know, definitely learned a thing or two about whiskey tasting and all this history about whiskey too. Like, there's a lot of like interesting facts and things about whiskey and bourbon and scotch as well. And you know, we had a very wonderful host. His name was JD. And funny, you know, because he kind of jokingly call himself Jack Daniels, but that's probably not on purpose, right? But anywho, he was a wonderful host, and you know, I definitely got to learn about a lot from him. And also, he's a huge nerd, so you know, that was a huge plus for me, because you know, anyway, it was a wonderful experience. And so next, we pretty much like was told from that same host JD where to go get some late night food, which was down the road, and we went down to this Mexican like gas station like sort of place called Yo Papas, and they had some tacos. So we dug into some, and they're pretty good. Like very good for like late night. If you're filled with alcohol or something, they're actually really good. Like, you know, the meat was good and the tortillas were pretty good. But yeah, definitely the meat itself was really good, so I enjoyed that. It's like I think it's somewhere like right outside the strip or something like that. It's like right close, pretty close by the whiskey tasting place. So, we then was told, hey, you shouldn't drink too much, because we told them what we're gonna do for the entire weekend of that bachelor party, and so Curtis couldn't drink as much as the best man wanted him to. So we had to put a stop there for the night, and then we went back and pretty much crashed at our hotel rooms. And then next day we had a little ATV touring to go to in the morning. So a shuttle picked us up, and there was another bachelor party with us, and we had essentially there was two groups going on, with my group and another group from Pennsylvania, which is interesting. And pretty much, we rode on ATVs that were converted from manual to automatic, and so that everyone can ride it. But it was a fun experience. You pretty much follow the leader with the tour guide. You go on all kinds of terrain in the desert with the ATVs, and you can go on the flat, like the flats, and also like a bunch of turns and bumps and whatever. Like it's the desert, so it's like super sandy, of course. If you don't keep up, you're gonna get lost. But there's a guy in the back, so he'll help you out, get back on the road, and help out on catching up to the group. So it's all it's all good and safe and all that stuff, and it's still really fun. Still, you can go really fast in the flats, and that was pretty much like my favorite part, which is the flats, because you can go at your fastest and you just feel all that wind, the air, the breeze, and stuff like that. It was nice too, because the air was like relatively cool. It wasn't super hot because it was in the morning for Vegas anyway, and it was just perfect weather. Everything when it comes to weather kind of went all perfectly. So at one point we stopped and we took some pictures. There was a great view of the mountains and stuff like that. It was really cool. There was like a snow cap in the middle of the mountain too, so I was like, what the heck? But yeah, it did definitely snow in Vegas at one point in the past, so this past year, so that was really, really weird. But yeah, it happened. And so yeah, the snow cap was still there. And so yeah, we finished up our ATV rides and we went back to our hotels. We heard a very interesting conversation in the van. Don't want to get into it too much, but yeah, it involved with you know, you get involved with you gotta try everything at least once, so at least in order to know what it's like. And Sana brought up very lewd thing, and they said like, okay, you pretty much don't have to do this to know what it's like. And the guy was still like, oh no, you gotta try that too, so you know what it's like to get down on your knees, let's just say. And you know where I'm gonna go from there. So yeah, that was a really funny conversation from the Pennsylvania guys. So we weren't talking to them or anything, we were just listening in. And yeah, so they were very much like kind of talking shit about like other places like Philadelphia and stuff. And they're trying to like see if like In-N-Out was living up to the hype that they were hearing about. And that's why it kind of led to that weird little piece of the conversation of like, oh, you gotta try everything at least once, and including getting down on your knees and so. So yeah, anyway, after that was over, we went back to our hotels, and we were super sandy and dusty and all that stuff and dirty, so we wanted all to take showers. And so me and my group went back to our hotel, and guess what? The freaking water was shut off in our section only. Our other group had their water running, so we had water shut down at the worst time. We're all dirty and sandy and stuff, so we're just like kind of stuck being dirty for a little bit. And I'm just like, fuck it, I'm gonna go to the other room and take that damn shower. And so I did, and yeah, it kind of all worked out, I guess. And we kind of were just trying to plan what we're gonna do next and blah blah blah. Meanwhile we were chilling and stuff, but and then pretty much we went to go-karting. That was our next thing, and that was like kind of like our final like big activity, I guess, for the bachelor party. It was really fun though. It was like one of those it was like the big boy so go-karts, not like the little kiddie go-karts you find like at some certain theme parks or whatever. This is like, these are gas powered. These are pretty big meaty karts. It kind of does make you feel like you're in Mario Kart, but this is like definitely for adults. So that was really fun. They go pretty fast, and the track was pretty cool. It's apparently a mile and a half long, but it didn't really feel like a mile and a half long. But maybe because we're going fast enough or something, I don't know. I guess you gotta find out. But anyway, I was trying to get familiar with the track, and and by that time though, something just clicked in me, and I'm like, all right, I know all the turns and stuff like that. I know how to approach all these turns, and my inner Gran Turismo like fan within me was starting to come out during like the old days of Gran Turismo, just starting to come out. And I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna go faster and faster. And yeah, dude, I was like nailing all those turns and stuff. Maybe I was like going a little too wide on some of the turns, but still, like, I definitely went faster and faster than before. So that's why I was able to like get faster and faster times. And by the end of it, I did spun out once, but it wasn't too bad since I didn't crash the wall. I was able to like kind of stop myself. So I was like super aggressive though. I was like so into it. I was super focused, and it was like super fun. So I had a good time with that. And by the end of it, I got third place for my first time. So I'm like, dang, dude, I will take that. Especially with the the top two being oriented with kart racing, so I'll definitely take that. Everyone else, I think that was their first time too, and yeah, I came out third. So again, I'll definitely take that. And the gap wasn't too large either. Like I was like just a second off from the guy in second place, which was the Bachelor, Curtis. And then first place was my friend John. So yeah, the best man. So again, you know, I was in the top three. I'll take it. Anyway, so after that, we went back, kind of recuperate a little bit, and then we went out for the Wicked Spoon. The Wicked Spoon is this like all you can eat, like buffet, and this is located inside the Cosmopolitan. It's actually a really good place. I had a lot to eat, including prime rib and pork shoulder. Oh man, that pork shoulder was a surprise, man. Like prime rib is like something you kind of expect to be good, so it's like, all right, you know, this is pretty good. But the pork shoulder, like that was a surprise for me. I was like, damn, this is really good. Along with like that nice charred jalapeno that came with it. Ooh, man, that was a deadly combination for me because I had a bunch of that. I was so full, and I had to like stuff in some dessert in me because this looked pretty good. Man, that was definitely worth the $50. You know, and all that in my stomach, and I was like, oh, I'm so full. And then we had to like walk it off, and next we went to go smoke some cigars at a cigar bar that was in the Caesar's Palace, and that was cool because it was like the first time in a long while I smoked a cigar, so you know, kind of had to like remember what I had to do to smoke a cigar, but you know, I got it. You know, I still got it, and yeah, that was a pretty unique experience. You know, smoking with the boys again for the very first time in a long time. So you know, we all had a good time. You know, we were trying to see, you know, how we all smoke our cigars and stuff like that. It was pretty funny for the first timers anyway. Curtis definitely had it down because he smoked a lot more cigars than before, but the best man never smoked a cigar before, so that was his first time. His brother was also smoking for the very first time. He kind of was very modest, so he didn't smoke that much, and his other friend was also his first time, so yeah, it was a little fun to see them kind of get used to it and stuff, and you know, me teaching John how to smoke a cigar. It's like, you know, you gotta take a lot of small puffs to get the fire going, and then you know, get that puff and then get the taste of that tobacco. So yeah, that's pretty much the basics, but yeah, it's still, you still have to get used to it. And that was supposed to be the night when Curtis was supposed to go, you know, drinking a whole bunch that, you know, John had planned, but everyone was just so like mellowed out and so much kind of into like that food coma state because we all had Wicked Spoon. So, you know, that had to be something to be expected. You know, we're at a buffet. You gotta get your money's worth by just stuffing yourself, and including that prime rib, the pork shoulder. Oh man, it's so good. I want to definitely go back to that again if I have the chance. But anyway, so after the cigars were smoked, I mean, Curtis still had a couple of drinks, but not as much as again what was planned. And we just kind of walked a little more, and we went back to the Hooters hotel because, you know, we wanted to see, you know, if a number of us wanted to like go gamble and stuff like that. And I actually kind of got in on the action too. We all did some video blackjack, and I actually put in some myself, and I put 20 in, and I got 30 cents out of that. So I got $20.30. So yeah, that was quite something, I guess, right? It's I was actually getting close to like gaining $10. So like, you know, I would have gotten 30 out of it, but it went down to like freaking 10, pretty close to like single digits. I'm like, oh shoot, man. You know, I gotta do something. And then you know, I started to like get more money again, and then by the time I got around to 20, I just hit the eject button pretty much. I'm like, all right, cash out. And then, yeah, I got 30 cents out of that. So, yeah, I gained 30 cents. So I didn't lose money. So that's something to kind of brag about in a way. So I actually kind of have some fun, you know, like they're only 20 bucks. And let's see how much you get out of it. So, yeah. So I definitely had a good time. You know, the rest of the boys were on the action too, and I think one of us got double the money, like, you know, so from 20 to 40, and then the Bachelor just went up and down and all over the place. So I have no idea how much he got back, or if he even got anything back at all. And so, yeah, so that was fun. And then after that, we pretty much all went back and crashed. And then pretty much the next day was like our last day, so we all kind of went for breakfast and kind of just, we're all tired by then, so we kind of just relaxed at our friend's house, which, you know, he lived in Vegas, so that was kind of convenient. So yeah, we kind of just waited there until the best man kind of had his own little plan to kind of get together with his friend who lived in Vegas, who was outside the group, but like he was in Vegas at the time. So he met up with him for a good hour or two. So we were kind of just waiting. We were like pretty much dead because we were just, you know, we pretty much like reached to our point, and we're kind of just all wanting to go home. And then after before John came back to us, I just put on Netflix and chilled pretty much. So nice definition of Netflix and chilling. So yeah, but yeah, pretty much after that, you know, we went home after a nice 6-hour trip back to California. That was pretty much it. That was like a pretty big weekend. So and the biggest weekend so far this year, like, you know, bachelor party with my friend, and I had a good time. You know, and definitely everything worked out. Glad I was able to do all those activities. That was my first time riding an ATV. That was my first time doing, you know, whiskey tasting, and then had a cigar with that with that group of friends for first time. I mean, like I said, I smoked before, but I definitely got better at smoking a cigar at that time. So yeah, that was a nice experience, and no one got hurt, and pretty much, yeah, I mean, not too many weird stories, unfortunately, for, you know, a lot of people, because, you know, Vegas is like a nice plethora of like weird stories to tell that are supposedly fun. But anyway, but yeah, that just means we all came back in one piece. So after we got back to California, we just had some ramen, and it was just like, oh, that was such a nice meal to like come back to, and kind of just like pretty much signify the end of the day. And yeah, that was pretty much it for that one. And then the next night was Endgame, because during that same weekend it was Endgame. Everyone was watching it, everyone was talking about it on Twitter, without spoiling it, thank God. But it was just kind of like, oh my god, this movie insane, and blah blah blah. And somehow I was like able to like not hear any spoilers on the streets of Vegas, so that was pretty cool. I guess everyone's just too busy to like gamble or something. But anyway, I was able to watch Endgame the next night, which was Monday night, around like almost midnight, and there was like a number of people still, because that's just how big this movie was, man. Like, for a Marvel movie, like, this is definitely the biggest movie of its history. So this, you know, this is the last film of the Infinity Saga, sort of, even though it should be. Apparently Far From Home is the final chapter of that Infinity Saga, which is weird. But anyway, that film was absolutely insane. I definitely enjoyed it. There were some things I still wanted to see, but didn't happen. So I gave it a 9 out of 10 in my review that I did for the channel with my friend Danny. And then yeah, that was definitely like something like, oh, that was such a huge sigh of relief to like see, you know, because everyone was watching it. I'm just like, oh, I gotta, I wanted to see it so bad. I definitely want to see it. I wanted to see it on Sunday night, but by the time I came back, but I didn't plan ahead enough, so that's why I was just stuck with these shitty seats. But Monday night was better, so I went Monday night, had better seats. Went by myself, of course, because it was late night. And yeah, there was still a number of people, man. Like I said, it's crazy. And definitely, I was able to watch it with Dolby Cinema. Very, very good experience when it comes to that movie. And I watched it twice, in fact. So that was kind of a good thing for me to do. Kind of just pretty much like helped me paint a lot of gaps that I kind of had with myself with that movie. And my opinion didn't change a whole lot. It just kind of confirmed what I saw. Like I just wanted to like do a double take pretty much, and that's that. But like I said, I enjoyed the movie. If anyone wants to check out the movie review, it's definitely one of the most recent uploads, so check that out. And I really do appreciate that. I think also before that though, I did catch Shazam. I think that came out around April, and then I think Captain Marvel was in April. Might be like around end of March or something. So sorry if I'm getting my dates a little mixed, but yeah. Oh no. No, I'm sorry. Not April. March. Yeah. Man, time is flying too fast because we're already in May. But anyway, I watched the Shazam. That was a movie I enjoyed. But I guess it wasn't like worth talking about for Danny anyway, so that's why we didn't do the review. But for the channel, I guess we can move on now. We were able to come together for the channel to do the review for a movie finally, like of this year. And it's been a long time since me and Danny were able to come together. Because the last movie was Infinity War, which is really funny. So, but yeah, Endgame was something we were both very much anticipating, and so we definitely had to come together and talk about it for a review. We definitely had a long, good conversation about the spoilers, and yeah, I had a good time doing that video, man. I do miss it. I would love to do more reviews and stuff with Danny. Hopefully we can get around to that, but we'll see. I don't want to make any guarantees for you guys and even myself, so yeah. And I think I will try to do my best to do solo movie reviews if I have to, but it'll definitely be in a different format, most likely. But if like that movie is really good or I had a lot of fun watching it, then I'll probably bust out the green screen and you'll definitely see me in a different setting or something like that. But anyway, yeah, there's definitely a lot to talk about this time around because of the whole Bachelor Party Endgame, and also we were excuse me if I'm trying to reach over to my computer to see what else we did. So yeah, we did or I got myself Mortal Kombat. That was another anticipated game for a lot of people, especially for the fighting game fans. And so far, I do kind of like it. I haven't played enough of it. I did play the story mode, recorded that with my friend Esfaka. So those videos are coming out episode by episode. It's already been done. I recorded it with my new equipment, so that's another like test that was pretty much successful. I'm pretty much like satisfied with this so far. Like I said, I want to do more with that. But also, so yeah, we did a let's play for story mode, and I'm trying to do, see if we can do like a reaction to the fatalities like I did like last time with MKX with my friend Danny. Trying to get that going, but schedules trying to line them up. So yeah, kind of hard to do that nowadays. So also it kind of explains why the movie reviews are very infrequent. So yeah, that's another reason. So anyway, we did the MKX or MK11, excuse me, stuff. And let me see. April was just also like, oh yeah, we did the Amiibo opening review, and then Jump Force is officially done, I think. That was a load of ass, I must say. Anyway, and I also reacted to the Joker gameplay, and then what else did I do? Oh yeah, more podcasts, of course, and yeah, and then I tested out the new mic, the AT2020. So yeah, we definitely did quite a bit, and yeah, April was just such a big month to look back on. It was definitely a big one. So yeah. Oh yeah, and I almost forgot, I reviewed One Piece World Seeker, which overall was a bit of a disappointment for me. Or okay, I'm not holding back. It's probably like the worst game / disappointing game so far for me, anyway, of 2019. But we'll see what takes the cake later on. It's still kind of early. We're not halfway just yet of 2019. So yeah, we'll have to see what about after the holidays and all that for 2019. But yeah, and then we talked about what's happening with Street Fighter 5 Season 4. That was like early in April, and yeah, so quite a bit happened. And like I said, we did in-game spoilers and review talk and whatever, MK11. So yeah, pretty good amount. And because of all that, I wasn't able to stream as much as I wanted to. Again, I had that funk going on, so that's why I decided to take a break from streaming for a bit. And so yeah, that was definitely something that all worked out anyway. So let's see. But now let's talk about what we're gonna do for May. Now, funny enough, May is pretty dead when it comes to games. There's really not much for me to get, if not at all. In fact, so I think I'm gonna take this opportunity to try to do the videos I wanted to make. Maybe that one video that I wanted to make back in December, but couldn't get around to it because stuff happened or stuff was coming up. And then I will also try to take this opportunity to go back to doing art, drawing and all that fun stuff. I really wanted to get back into it for a very long time, but I've been focusing on videos and video games, and since video games aren't happening, I might as well try to take the opportunity. So we'll see about that. I'll try to do more art streams after I finish Vesperia. And yeah, so speaking of which, I gotta finish up the Vesperia. I'm almost there. Gotta do some side quests, try to collect some costumes and all that, as much as I can muster. But yeah, I definitely really want to wrap up Vesperia. Maybe try to do a review on that, whether it's like a simple review, or like a rapid fire review, or an in-depth review. We'll see about that, because it is a really fun game. I've been waiting for that game for a long time to reach in my hands, and I'm almost done with it. Which is a really weird feeling, but it's a really good kind of weird feeling, if that makes sense. And also, May is also a good month for movies, man. We got Pikachu not too far from now, and then John Wick Chapter 3, and also Godzilla, man. That Godzilla movie is really exciting, and I really am looking forward to it. It's like right there though, by around the wedding, so for my friend. So I probably gotta catch it the day after or something. I'll try to do my best, but yeah, I definitely gotta get ready for that wedding though, because yeah, it's like right around the end of May, and then right in the beginning of June, which is E3, which is another pretty big month for gamers anyway. So this is kind of like a nice little relaxation sort of period, I guess you can look at it that way for May. but movies, and I'm gonna try to keep myself busy with art and all that. And so yeah, hopefully you guys look forward to that. Sorry about that. The card on my camera got full, so kind of randomly cut off there. What I was trying to say, that it was like that's pretty much like that was like the primary schedule anyway, drawing and all that fun stuff. So yeah, hope you look forward to that, and hopefully maybe I get around to some other videos that I kind of don't do as often, and I am definitely look forward to those movies, and I'm hoping we can do reviews. I'll definitely be down to do a solo review with Godzilla if I have to, man. And I think it's pretty likely that we're gonna probably be talking about Pokemon together, but we'll see about that. Don't want to make any guarantees for myself and you guys. So anyways, if you guys have any like related comments or anything like that, maybe some suggestions for the channel or anything like that, any feedback at all, please leave them down in the comment section below. I love to read them. Really helps out the channel. And don't forget to like all the videos and stuff like that, and subscribe. You know the drill. And I'm always on Twitter, and I got a Twitch and all that fun stuff. And all those links are down in the description. And as always, another way to support the channel is through Loot Crate. If you guys click on the link and type in the promo code HAWK525, you guys save on Loot Crate stuff, and I get some back. I got some out of it too. So it's a win-win situation as always, and it's very helpful and very much appreciated if you guys are willing to do that. So. And I also have the Into the AM sponsorship as well. So if you do same drill, and also helps me out as well. So again, thank you guys so much. I'm definitely looking forward to May. It's kind of a relaxation period for games, but I'm definitely gonna keep myself busy with art and other things. So it's at least something different, a little more variety for the month too, so that'll help kind of not be burnout on games or whatever. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys in the next video. Sean out.